Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today, I have a special guest.
Jake the Snake Johnson.
This is my husband, Jake. We've been married for 1 year and a little bit, almost a year and a month, but we had our wedding almost a month ago. So, most people know that we've been married, but some people don't. I don't know, it's weird. It's complicated, but point is, he's in the Army, so we got married, and I moved to Colorado, stationed at Fort Carson. Yeah. So today's video, we're going to talk about what we learned in our first year of marriage.
Yeah, we are. Number one is that alone time is important because
You're literally with this person for the rest of your life, so you have to have like your own,
yeah.
like you have to be an individual before you're...
I'm not good at videos, but I'll talk off my dome. I think you gotta, as cheesy as it sounds, you gotta learn to love yourself before you can love someone else.
That's true.
And being an individual is very important because if you just jump in a relationship and you're just gonna put all your dependency on one person, it's not gonna work.
It's not going to work in a relationship, but it's really not going to work in a marriage.
Yeah.
Just saying. So number 2 is that not everything is as perfect as it seems, and like I wouldn't say in your first year of marriage, just in marriage in general, like you can't compare yourself to other couples because Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that, Snapchat, whatever you use, is all a highlight reel. So like obviously I'm not going to post about us having an argument because like you don't want people to know that. I mean, at least most people don't want to put that out there publicly. We want to portray that like we have a great life. That's what Instagram is for. Like it's like a highlight reel. So yeah, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, a lot of people just want to put on the face that everything's okay. It's like when someone, I don't want to go down a deep rabbit hole here, but sometimes people are depressed and you can't even tell. Like people put on that face and they want everyone to like think that everything's perfect and everything's so great. Like you look at celebrities that are like doing big and great things, but on their insides they could be dying. So.
Okay, so number 3 is yours. You say number 3 because that's, I don't know. I asked him. I said, okay, what's your advice? Like, or not advice. What did you learn in your first year of marriage? And he said,
music is meditation. I don't know. I thought of something cheesy really fast, but I do think music does help. Like whenever you're going through tough times. I mean,
did you say that that's like contributing to like alone time? Like that's something you like?
Yeah, I think it falls in with alone time. At the same time, also, I think music also brings people together. So if you find music that you both enjoy and you get to sing together and dance, whatever. I mean, it's.
You don't dance. I don't know why you said that.
I don't dance. Well, in my car I do by myself. But I don't know. I think music kind of releases your soul a little bit. It does.
Releases your soul?
Yeah.
You mean like
I feel like music
nourishes your soul, like it like fuels your heart, or like.
At least for me, music can pull emotions out of me that I don't have normally. Like it makes me like think about things.
Yeah, that actually makes me think of another one. Hang on.
Picture things that I normally on like the day-to-day wouldn't think about. So
number 4 is something we also agreed on, and it's learning your spouse's love language, because it's really important to know. It's really important to know like what makes him happy and how, because like if he doesn't care about gifts and he doesn't care about like receiving gifts at all, me giving him gifts every day isn't going to make him feel any better. So like what we did is we read the 5 love languages for military, which really helped us because I'm very much quality time, and so now he knows that if we like spend quality time, it makes me happier. He's acts of service, so like if he comes home to a clean house and like I cook dinner and I'm like doing things for him, like doing his laundry, like that kind of stuff makes him happy because he doesn't have to do it, and so it also frees up time for me and him to have quality time. That makes sense. You agree?
Yeah. Okay.
And also strength and weaknesses. So like I'm really sensitive, so it's important for him to know that because I get upset really easily.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't at all. Like that's one of his strengths, is like he's very calm.
It's like I'm a baseball bat and she's a pile of glass.
What? Okay, number 5 is something you came up with, so you can say it. I don't really know what you mean by that.
Be open to new ideas.
So what do you mean by that?
Nothing. I'm just kidding. Well, in the beginning, like I thought that we were similar like every single way, but like as relationships go on, you start to learn that you're different. And
As our relationship goes on.
whatever. But yeah, and I think it's important to. Well, it was important for me to like step out on the edge and try new things.
Like this. Like he would have never been on camera before.
Yeah, I don't like cameras.
And I mean, I do like beer, but I'm more open to beer now, like knowing like that you care about like beer and like different kinds of beer and going to breweries and like the experience. That makes, like, I know that you like that, so like, I don't know. I'm open to that.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that like.
And I used to never go into Ulta. Now I kind of don't mind it because I go in.
Because you get stuff too.
When I get stuff, and two, I steal all the lotion.
Well, he
I
like
sample
uses
everything
it, yeah.
until I irritate her enough that we get to leave.
Along with that, though, if they're like being open to new ideas is one thing. So like something you're actually interested in is something we can do together. But things like Xbox, like that's his alone time, and I don't want anything to do with that. You know. So like, if I were playing Xbox with you all the time, then you don't get any alone time because that's like your alone space and time.
Mm-hmm.
You know? This is one that's juicy. Okay, my thing is that I'm very emotional. Like I said, I'm very sensitive, and he's not. So I think in our next 100 years, for him to be more emotional would be great. If I was less emotional or less sensitive, that would be great.
I am really emotional, but I don't show emotion. If that makes sense.
No, he doesn't get sparked really easily. Like he'll be happy about stuff, but it's not like, oh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I want to go do this. Blah blah blah. Like, or oh, I'm so mad. Like you don't get really passionate about your emotions. Like you're just very like calm, cool, collected kind of guy. You know, but a lot of guys are like that. So what I've learned is that you can't get overly sensitive about the fact that he's not upset about something or like excited about something that you're excited about or things like that. Right? Okay.
Well, I guess if we're not giving advice, but what I learned is understanding that whenever they're being super emotional, sometimes the reasons behind it, you gotta like put yourself in their shoes and find out why they get emotional about things. Because like in my personal opinion of how that works is like, if I were to get emotional about some of the things she gets emotional about, I would think I'm being dumb, but for her, it's different because she gets emotional about different things than I would get emotional about, so.
Just men and women are very different.
Yeah,
you gotta
learn the perspective of your significant other. Don't be stubborn with your finances and understanding. Well, first off, you gotta learn each other's spending habits because that's really important.
Yeah, we learned that this year.
Yeah. If one person's like someone that just goes out and buys things randomly, and one person's someone that just likes to save money.
I'm both.
Yeah, she's confusing with money. She'll be like, we need to save money, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I just bought this. I'm like, what?
Okay, but it's things that we both like would use.
No, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. See, I don't even
He
care
buys
about
stuff
money
only
that much.
he would use. That's your problem. You buy like, he'll be like, oh look, I found this deal that's like military discount. That's
40 cigars.
For yeah, he's like, I got $80 off. I'm like, that's a scam. And then it shows up in the mail. I'm like, how? He's like, it's gonna take like 2 months to get here, but it'll be fine.
I got like $75 worth of cigars and a humidor cigar caddy box. It was like almost an $85 value. I got it for like $15. Yeah, sometimes I'll just find random deals. And more recently, I'm getting into stocks now, and I didn't even tell her. But
yeah, that's like one thing we learned. Don't do that.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not like he like
so much money. It's $20.
Yeah, it's not like he.
I already made more. I have $27 now. But what's up?
If he would have invested like $500 without talking to me, that would have been a huge problem.
Unless
but you
I made
wouldn't have
money.
done that. Like we know that. But basically, the point
is
Yes, I have. The point is that we talked about money early on, so it's like we're really comfortable talking about money and really comfortable saying like we don't want to spend money on that, and we kind of like agree to each other. Okay, and our last thing is that we have actually like implemented this year because we didn't do it that much last year, right? We like did, but we didn't. Is that we pray together and we go to church together like like every week pretty much, unless like he can't. I usually go because I'm usually free. Like the last 3 weeks I could go, but he was in school, so couldn't go. But we usually try to go to church together, and what we've started doing is every night we pray together before we go to bed. And I feel like even if it's not something that's super noticeable in your relationships, it's like something that's like baby steps for me that I consistently think about. Like putting God first in our relationship is gonna eventually, like, it'll like elongate. It'll make our marriage long lasting. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically we've learned that putting God first is how we're gonna make it to the long run. For the long haul, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That is everything we learned this year. It's almost a year. What day is it?
There's more than that, but...
Well, yeah, we've learned a lot. Your first year of marriage is, everybody tells you it's the hardest.
It's the easiest.
No. Especially, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say this, especially if you're in military, which a lot of people that watch my videos are. Your first year in marriage is really hard because most of the time you're not already living with that person, or you're not always like consistently with them unless I met you here and I'm with you all the time, you know? But like we met before he was here, like we met in high school, or like, what, elementary school? No, not elementary school. We met in middle school, so like I've known him for a long time. So I lived in Houston whenever he lived in Germany and then Colorado. So the long distance, like coming to an end, is really hard to adjust to. I feel like we did it fine.
What, adjusting to what?
Long distance, like not being long distance anymore.
I don't know. Yeah. It
Like,
honestly felt no different for some reason.
the only thing that really was significant for us is like balancing time, because like we were both alone like all the time. Not alone, but like we were separated all the time. So coming together was hard to like balance our time for us because we were so used to being individuals. A big thing we had to deal with is Xbox, because he could play Xbox whenever he wanted and like still be texting me or calling me like before, or FaceTiming me, whatever. But now I'm here, so I'm like, you're gonna play Xbox right now? That was a huge deal for us.
Some good advice is make sure you give your significant other time for Xbox.
Or just don't be someone who plays Xbox all the time. As you can tell, this is a still fresh issue.
It'll always be an issue.
I know.
Until I'm like 50 and don't have thumbs.
Because you played so much Xbox.
They're rubbing away.
But we're slowly but surely figuring out all the kinks. But I'm sure every year we're going to have new fun things
issues.
to... Maybe next year we'll talk about how having a dog affects our relationship, because we're going to have a dog next year.
Or we'll be homeless.
What?
See you on next episode. Jake and Ashley are homeless.
Okay, so that is everything that we learned in our first year of marriage. We really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Either way, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Thumbs down if you like me more.
thumbs up if you like this video.
That too. Do both.
And don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot of things, exciting things happening this year. So we will definitely be vlogging, making videos, all kinds of stuff. So go ahead and join the fam, keep up with our lives, and we will see you in our next video.
And I'm getting a new car soon.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Well, you gotta wait till we get to Germany first, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, bye!
Comment if I should go foreign or
Domestic.
stick to the American muscle. Bye.